Alright, y'all, we back at it. Sean the Cool Weeaboo here, and today we are doing Kill la Kill Was Ahead of Its Time by Decaf is here. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, turn on post notifications. Turn on post notifications. Yeah, man, I need better editing. But alright, let's just get into the video.
Here is 2013, roughly 10 years ago. The world was very different. We had Vine and Minecraft YouTubers who were not outed as awful people just yet. The internet was so different back then and has evolved for the better and worse. 2013 was also a great year for anime. Just think, we had an iconic anime come out called Attack on Titan. We had Saki K, Free, Devil's a Part-Timer, Golden Time. However, there
no High School DxD? Is it that wait a fucking minute. Hold on. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. Okay, alright. No, so 2012 it originally came out. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So those are good. Fuck Attack on Titan. Devil's Part-Timer is good. Let me see, what else did he list?
Titan. Devil's a Part-Timer. Golden Time. However, there was a weird, bizarre, and outrageous anime called Kill la Kill. What's wrong with Kill la Kill?
This was the best out of all of them.
One anime where that one girl says, "I guess you're my little pog champ," and to that I say no. However, let me explain the plot to the best of.
Bro, this anime literally has a video game too, bro. I was just playing. Bro, we about to do that live too. Watch. Next week, I got y'all, bro. 11 p.m. Alright, stay tuned.
My
You're my little pod
so
champ.
You can see for yourself. Ryuga Matoy has
been watching his videos again, bro. This is rage bait.
Lead is the missing half of an invention called the Scissor Blade. She soon arrives at the Honojui Academy, which is a really weird school. There is an evil president who rules the school with an iron fist. Her name is Satsuki. Ryuga doesn't stand a chance. However, she decides to pick a fight with everybody. She fails miserably, of course, so she stumbles upon this weird creature who wants to attach himself to her. This thing is called Senketsu, and it's a talking sailor uniform. This grants her immense power. Now armed with powerful armor and the Scissor Blade, she will fight the entire academy and solve her father's death. And it gets so much weirder. She's a part of this weird...
Oh wait, spoiler alert, by the way, because he gave off most of the story, so spoiler alert. Damn, I gotta remember that with that my Junko video next week.
Her family called him unconscious, and her newest friend is a girl named Mako. She's incredibly supportive. She also meets this weird teacher, a guy with a mohawk. She also has to fight a gym bro, an edgy swordsman, a nerd, and a marching band kid, as well as this weird girl. I hate her.
Yo, that blonde black guy used to actually be part of the swim team in Madaka Box, by the way. That's my headcanon.
Every fiber of my being. She soon learns about the world and discovers the absolute truth. Did I forget this anime is incredibly ecchi? Yeah, it's incredibly ecchi. As it turns out, most of these characters are incredibly bizarre. This is the bizarre story of Kill la Kill. So, what do you think?
Amazing, absolute
Despite this
fiction.
Anime being incredibly ecchi, there were a lot of things that resonate with me. I love making video essays and analyzing different anime and manga. There's nothing wrong with being analytical and critical of things I enjoy. That's just how I'm wired. This is probably one of the weirder anime I've talked about on this channel. However, this is an anime that I enjoyed when I was young, and I still like it. I'm a big fan of Kill la Kill. Here's my entire Kill la Kill collection. I really love it. However, let's dig a little bit deeper on what Kill la Kill is. Kill la Kill is a revenge story that follows Ryuga Matoy, who's in search for the person who killed her father. Her only family, by the way. Only leads are this scissor, as well as this academy. Ryuga starts at the bottom of this society and is unfamiliar with this world. She's forced to fight for her life. Luckily, she has Mako and her peculiar family. I do want to address the issues with family and how they are portrayed within the context of Kill la Kill. A lot of the family dynamics are really weird, especially the dad and son. There are scenes where the dad and son harass Ryuko non-stop. It's played off as funny.
It is funny.
It's not really that funny. I just think it's very cringe. It takes me out of the experience. I wish the humor in the show could be more clever, but they're all
of these anime YouTubers are all the same, bro. That's why you just watch me instead.
And see new characters. Ryuko is forced to fight everyone right from the back. He meets an entourage of weird characters, including Senketsu, a talking uniform. He's also a kamui. These are clothing made entirely of life fibers. The story of Kill la Kill quickly evolves. This anime deconstructs battle anime, magical girl tropes, and specific character tropes that we see a lot in anime. Take Ryuko's story for example. It focuses on the common teenage struggle of finding your place in the world and building your idea of right and wrong, especially in an environment prioritizing conformity to a higher being. This can be seen in the show's over-the-top and exaggerated humor. It perfectly captures the confusing experience of high school life. I am a sophomore in college, and I still remember being in high school. It was not that long.
So he probably graduated by now, because I think this video came out like 2 or 3 years ago.
She is loud and refuses to listen
2 years
to
ago.
people.
So he's probably like a senior graduating right now.
Kill la Kill isn't the first battle series to have the over-the-top animation and storytelling. Studio Trigger, the same studio responsible for Gurren Lagann, produced this anime. Also, it's one of the
Amadaka Box and Panty and Stalking. We went over that in my short. Alright, go watch my short. Go watch my top 10 anime studios.
Best mecha anime of all time. To make things more interesting, the writer Kazuki Nakashima and the key Japanese animator Hiroyuki Imashi are responsible for these 2 anime. They have made some of the most gorgeous anime I've seen in a long time. Watch Promare if you haven't. One of Kill la Kill's biggest strength is its unique aesthetic, to the point that any frame from the show, even out of context, is instantly recognizable as Kill la Kill.
I low-key like too mad to be horny, bro. Like what's this called? Satsuki look mad, like you know what I'm saying? Bad right now, but he low-key rage baiting.
In a world where there's a lot of conformity, she's persistent and dedicated to her goals. Ryuko is a strong fighter, but not once in this anime do her opponents comment on her gender or make fun of her being a tomboyish girl. The fights are seen as fights between 2 incredibly gifted fighters. Ryuko does not have a male interest, and I love that about this anime. Despite her being independent, she also relies...
Oh, so then you must also like the new Snow White movie.
on her friends and new family. Over the course of 24 episodes,
no, I'm not gonna lie, that's low-key solid though.
She can be mellow with her new family and aggressive when fighting. There's this character balance, and I really enjoy that a lot. Ryuko is an edgy character with an interesting amount of depth. There's a lot of characters in anime that are edgy for the sake of being edgy, but they don't really get to evolve and change.
Well, this is not anime related, but definitely Shadow. That's why I feel like from Sonic, right? Shadow. That's why I'm just like, bro, he's just so overrated because his whole shtick is just Maria. I gotta avenge Maria. Yeah, I don't care.
Changes the character. This anime is an acquired taste. It has a lot of fan service, but the fan service is actually essential to the show, believe it or not. It's about being comfortable in your own.
But fan service ain't even a bad thing to begin with.
This messaging
y'all are just purists.
Very differently.
And DL.
Everyone in the show
DL, that's not
wild outfits, which is
that was a good
episode. Side of anime. Ryuko learns that the secret to unlocking the
Fight Club that Mako,
is to accept herself and her body without embarrassment. She allows herself to symbiotically link with Senketsu as if he were her skin. In this way, our female protagonist becomes unashamed of her body and proud of herself, regardless of who sees her wearing her uniform. When I first watched it back in 2015, I enjoyed it because of how wild it was. Also, I was young and stupid. This was a wild anime for sure. When I rewatched it, I enjoyed the music by Hiroyuki Swano and the animation.
He's the L. He just, they're all the same. Like I said, just watch me instead if you want real anime related commentary. Alright, they don't get the culture. Alright, these fucking Americans.
But certain things stuck out to me and left me very shocked. This is an anime I can recommend to people, however, I would give a lot of trigger warnings. Ryuko is not the only character I love. There are many exciting characters like Mako and Satsuki, but let me talk about
Satsuki's
Mako.
a fucking stallion,
Mako
bro.
is Ryuko's best friend for a good reason. She's always at Ryuko's side, saying the most random things, but no matter what, she's always supportive, despite being
I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop pausing, but bro, she was like, oh, Ryuko, your boobs are definitely bigger than Satsuki's. You know, me and my dad and my brother, we saw them one time, we always...
annoying and obsessive with wealth at some points. She's dedicated to working hard and showing her care for others. When morale is down, she inspires everyone. She has no fear of anything and takes risks, even when talking to the gym bro named Gamagori. At one point, she makes fun
also,
of
like I said, the swim club member from Madaka Box.
She does not give a rat's ass. Moments like these make me enjoy
I'm gonna put a picture up. He got really buff.
Anime could be deeply philosophical, and sometimes it's just straight up funny. I'm not saying Mako is this genius or intelligent being like Socrates. However, she has some of the most iconic lines.
She might actually be Socrates.
Just rip it off and get naked. This is an actual line in the anime. Even though this is a weird thing to say, Mako is attempting to uplift her friend. Mako is a chaotic character, but manages to have a profound message that can really inspire others. There are so many iconic characters within Kill la Kill, but let's talk about the talking sailor uniform that manages to be one of the best additions to this anime. Despite being talking clothes, he has a lot of human traits and can communicate with his users. He can form a bond with Ryuko, and they both learn from one another. They both adapt to a world they need to become familiar with. He serves as Ryuko's right hand and moral guide. This isn't the first time anime has brought life to objects and things that are not human. Anime like Land of the Lustrous, Beastars comes to mind. It's another way of telling a powerful story. Like most things don't last forever, and friendships slowly lose their spark. After defeating her mother, Ryuko and
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Space. He tells her that he is dying.
Bro.
This fight was exhausting and took a toll on his life. He says this beautiful line: "The time comes when a girl outgrows her sailor uniform." Ryuko begs him not to leave her, but he tells her she has outgrown him, meaning he's not needed anymore. Senketsu's parting words help her understand the freedom of making one's own choices. This is a story about growing and evolving and embracing oneself, believe it or not. The characters don't stay the same. They change, and one of the biggest changes you see is the antagonist or protagonist named Satsuki. For most of the show, she's the antagonist, like Sonic, but evil, or at least that is what people say online sometimes. Satsuki is a student president who rules the academy with an iron fist. She's incredibly arrogant, she sees herself as the superior being, and she's intolerant of weakness. In addition, she tends to be dismissive of natural emotions and loves being critical in general, even to those who are most loyal. However, she is dedicated and stubborn in completing her goals no matter what. No matter how bizarre her plans are, her entourage of strong weirdos will remain loyal. It is essential to mention that she and the Elite Four are responsible for attacking other schools and destroying countless lives. They created a brutal system that oppresses people at the bottom. She's not a good person. However, we slowly realize that Satsuki is not just a good or bad person. There is that morally gray area. We slowly realize that Satsuki is working for an evil, bigger villain, her mother. I have hatred for this character, by the way. She did some of the most vile things.
But she does have some rockin' cans.
All bad things that happen in Kill la Kill can be traced back to her. Her mother plans to feed all of humanity to life fibers. When her mother tries to start this plan, Satsuki quite literally stabs her in the back. She never intended to help her mother.
Spoiler alert
Satsuki's
again.
entire plan was to create an entire army to overthrow her mother. Does she succeed? No, but it was a surprising moment in the show. She took it upon herself to dedicate her life to being the hero of humanity in secret by developing an entire army out of a system of her own design from scratch. She planned this all when she was 5 years old. I can't think of a smart 5-year-old. When I was 5, I was a complete idiot. Well, anyway, even though this was a secret plan, she was dedicated to it and refused to be distracted because she has the will to be strong. As it turns out, her speeches have some ironic foreshadowing to her actual plans villains, even from the beginning. Satsuki was the main villain for the most part, and this scene helps us recontextualize the first half of the show. Satsuki puts Ryuko through hell in order to determine her physical, moral, and psychological strength. An average person would ask, why didn't Satsuki ask for help? I mean, narratively, it would have just been boring. You see, Kill la Kill is supposed to be this outrageous, over-the-top anime. This scene changes the entire structure of the story, implying the existence of a whole hidden plotline. Instead of Ryuko trying to take down Satsuki, we've been watching two parallel arcs, the story of two girls, each dedicated to the same purpose. That story, that mission, is revenge. However, one is involved with a decade of careful calculation, and the other is hitting many people with a sword to the best of her ability. To each their own, I guess. Satsuki hates her mother, all for the right reasons. She has been groomed and straight up assaulted by her. I feel so bad for Satsuki at many points of the show. The fact that Satsuki and Ryuko later turn out to be secretly sisters makes their arcs even more interesting.
Spoiler alert, bro. Don't watch this video, bro, if you haven't, bro.
Goals. At one point in her coup, Satsuki says, "This is for my father and my baby sister." Satsuki isn't this cold person. She is filled with rage and sadness, however, has internalized that. The more you look at the show, there's a lot of things to dissect. That is what I love about video essay creation. It's fun to go really in depth with popular shows. I know, some people don't like those kinds of videos, and I say, boo-hoo. Every anime always has a soundtrack, but not every anime has a soundtrack like Kill la Kill. Here's a list of the entire soundtrack of Kill la Kill. All these songs are amazing. It's hard to pick a favorite song in this soundtrack. Each time you hear one of these songs, you get this unbelievable amount of adrenaline. And I will say this, if you search up Don't Lose Your Way or Blumenkranz, you'll understand why the soundtrack is awesome. Also, Hiroyuki Sawano is responsible for this soundtrack. He's the same guy that also did the Attack on Titan soundtrack. Do I really need to explain myself? Having a great soundtrack makes the anime so much more enjoyable.
Alright. I don't give a fuck anymore. Look, I love video essays, just maybe not on anime, and definitely not Decaf is here. Video essays. Okay. I hope I never watch any other of his videos again. Okay, I never seen someone glaze such a shitty anime with no fan service, such as Attack on Titan. You know what I'm saying? You guys are all the same. Okay, and it shows. That's why I said, bro, just watch me instead. Soon I got some high quality shit going on, you know, with the commentary, make my own commentary. You know, obviously, like I said, next week we doing Kill la Kill If, right? Live, you know, today's the last day, unfortunately, it's Wednesday. We also, I mean, any other game, you know, oh yeah, stay tuned, but we're gonna do live playthrough of Scott Pilgrim as well. But yeah, man, he made some good points, a lot of spoilers, so please don't watch this video if you haven't watched the full series yet. If you made it this far and you didn't, if you did, comment down. If you're just going to be disrespectful, I'm just going to delete your comment anyways. So, you know, if you don't like my opinion and my stance on everything, then don't subscribe to me. Don't watch anything I make, just like how I'm not going to watch this guy anymore. No disrespect to him personally, by the way, either. I don't really know who he is. I don't anything. Okay, so I have nothing personal against this YouTuber. Obviously, he ain't for me, and I'm not for him, probably, so that's fine. Just never again. If you like this shitty take, I guess, yeah, go ahead, search up Decaf is here and watch him instead. Fine. But for the people who do love me and did stay and understand that fan service is the very structure of the culture and medium, you know, of anime, and what makes it real and not just some NPC purist LARPer from the Great Shift, then thank you for watching. Also, comment down 513. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, watch another video, turn on post notifications, and I'm outie.